This is a very difficult narrative to discuss because the author wants to give the readers a sense that everything can be fixed by becoming a disciple of Jesus Christ. So give me a moment to explain why my opening statement will be taken badly by some listeners. First, in the story, Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead. It was 4 days after Lazarus died that Jesus arrives in the town. Now, the custom of the day was that the person's spirit stayed in the body for at least 3 days after death. On the third day, it was the custom to go to the tomb to offer final goodbyes. They believed that the deceased person could hear the mourners. Of course, the deceased person could not reply. This is a quick foreshadowing in John's gospel, because Mary at Jesus' tomb on the third day went there to say her final goodbyes, and when Jesus appeared to her, imagine the surprise that she felt. That was not supposed to happen. Truly, the Lord was with Jesus. Okay, back to the story at hand. The fourth day had come, and the people believed that Lazarus' spirit had returned to the Lord. That is, he was now in heaven. So Jesus comes to the tomb and calls upon the Lord. Okay, back to the story at hand. The fourth day had come, and the people believed that Lazarus' spirit had returned to the Lord. That is, he is now in heaven. Jesus comes to the tomb and calls upon the Lord to send him back. The miracle occurs, or perhaps it was a sign that Lazarus was revived and walked out of the tomb. The immediate interpretation is that nothing is impossible with the Lord. Now, I believe it is possible to do some impossible things with the help of Jesus and the Lord. However, being realistic, there are things that do happen even when calling upon Jesus, or I should say do not happen, the right way to say it. A flaw in Christianity's proclamation of anything is possible is that it is not a 100% proof theological position. Many impossible things happen with Jesus' help, but many things also don't happen. This is a problem for the church in Jesus' day and today. I had a dear friend named Lou. He did not listen to his heart doctor when he was told on his second heart attack to take it easy and be out of stress and work for at least 12 weeks. His heart needed time to heal and recover. Of course, at 9 weeks, Lou felt great and went back to work. And 2 weeks later, he's in the hospital with a heart attack. This time, the cardiologist said to him that only 20% of his heart was left. He also said that Lou had 2 years to live unless he got a transplant. So Lou went on the list. A month or two into those 2 years, there was a heart. He rushed to the hospital. He was prepped for the surgery. However, the heart came in damaged in transport. No one was sure why it happened or how it happened, but Lou didn't get his transplant. Lou did not get the transplant. He was never called again. 2 weeks before the 2-year mark, Lou's heart failed and died. Honestly, all the praying in the world would not have helped and repair Lou's heart. The heart is an organ that does not remove dead tissue and replace it with new tissue. The strain on 20% of Lou's heart would not last long. Medical science has plenty of proof for hearts. What did I do? Well, I prayed for Lou's soul that he would come to grips with his mortality and prepare himself to meet Jesus. Lou was ready to meet Jesus. He did not look forward to it because it meant leaving his friends and family. However, he accepted mortality and was ready the day the angel of death took him into heaven to be with Jesus. I would say that Lou's miracle was how well he accepted the situation and that he caused it by not listening to the heart doctor. So let me change my opening statement by saying I believe it is important to call upon Jesus to help us overcome difficult situations in life. We might not get exactly what we would like, but when we pray and we listen to God's voice, we can be comforted knowing that God is doing the best for us. It is difficult to pray for a person who has a terminal illness or a wound. If this person is a dear relative or friend, we want the person to be healed. Sure we do. We accept that healing may be the person's physical death. And with healing being a part of the soul. It is difficult to accept because of this story. We can look at the Lazarus story, however, a little differently. And in this story, Jesus could bring Lazarus back from death. Here, Jesus could answer Mary and Martha's prayers for their brother. Instead of the story being about death, what if we see it as an answer to prayer? There was a situation that needed God's help. Jesus responded. Their prayer came to be, in this case, what am I saying? Praying for a solution to a situation shows a faith in Jesus. However, the solution to the prayers may not be what God is going to or can do for us. Prayer and answers to prayer is a very difficult area to explain. Why do some prayers come to be while others do not? This is a question that has been around since the beginning of religion. What appears to be true is that there are prayers that God answers, and there are prayers that cannot be. With our limited time, it is not possible to go through all the possibilities and combinations. So I recommend the book to you, Prayer: Finding the Heart's True Home by Richard Foster. He examines prayer and offers several possible answers to that question. A prayer lesson from the story is that no matter the possibility of a prayer being answered in the way that you want it to be, you should offer it anyway. Sisters never expected Jesus to bring Lazarus back to them. If you feel you have an impossible prayer, offer it. I would pray for all of you who are listening or reading this message that your faith continues to be strong and that you call upon Jesus always for help. God bless you for listening to the message. I hope it helps you in some way, shape, or form. And as always, yes, shalom.